There's a command so powerful, most people are scared to even whisper it, not because it harms, but because once spoken, reality bends, money shifts, doors open, people appear. It's so undeniable, it feels almost unnatural, like the universe itself is trembling. Neville Goddard said, "Your word is law." He wasn't being poetic. He meant it literally. Your voice shapes matter, and the command I'll reveal to you proves it. Once you hear it, you'll never waste another second begging or waiting again. But not yet. Because if you hear it too soon, you'll dismiss it. You'll think, it can't be this simple. A single spoken command that doesn't ask, doesn't beg, doesn't hope. It bends reality instead. And in this video, you're going to discover it, but not yet. Because if you hear it without preparation, it won't work. You'll dismiss it. You'll think, it can't be this simple. Stay with me, because when the moment comes, you'll feel the chill, and life will never go back to normal. Think about how most people live. They spend their days asking, praying, wishing, begging. You've seen it. Maybe you've even done it. Someone desperate for money whispers, "Please, just a little more in my bank account." Another person lies awake at night saying, "Please, let tomorrow be better." But what happens? They wake up to the same problems. They check their balance, still empty. They check their messages, still silence. They check their life, still waiting. Because asking is weakness. Every time you ask, you announce to the universe, "I don't have it yet." And the universe mirrors that declaration right back. Neville Goddard was relentless about this. He told his students, "Stop asking, stop pleading, because asking is the language of lack." Instead, he taught, "Assume the state, declare it as already done, and it is done." That is the shift. When you stop asking and start commanding, you don't wait for reality. Reality waits for you. And you can feel the difference instantly. When you beg, you feel small, powerless. When you command, your whole body shifts, your shoulders drop, your voice steadies, and reality listens. This is why people who spend years asking never see change, while those who dare to command often see movement in hours. Ask and you wait. Command and it arrives. Ask and you chase. Command and it comes. In the next minute, I'll show you why most people are terrified of this truth, and why that fear is exactly what makes it work. Here's something most people won't admit. The reason they never command the universe is because they're afraid of their own voice. Not the sound of it, the power of it. Because the moment you speak with authority, something strange happens. You feel a shift. It's like the air gets heavier. Like invisible forces are listening, and it scares people. So instead, they go back to what feels safe. Asking, hoping, begging. Because asking doesn't carry responsibility. When you ask, you can still hide in the comfort of waiting. But when you command, now it's real. Now you've declared it. Now the universe must move. And that's terrifying for people who have built their entire identity on waiting. Neville Goddard understood this fear. He said the moment you assume, the moment you claim something as yours, the whole world reshapes to match. That's not a metaphor. That's law. And yet, most people resist it. Why? Because if you admit your voice creates, then suddenly there's no one else to blame. No government, no boss, no luck, only your word. That level of responsibility makes people shake. It's easier to keep saying, one day, someday, maybe. But deep down, they know that's a lie. And you felt it before. That shiver when you said something with certainty and then watched it unfold. Maybe it was small, like saying you'd hear from a friend and suddenly your phone buzzed. Or bigger, like declaring you'd land a job and the offer came within days. You might have brushed it off as coincidence, but it wasn't. It was proof. Because reality doesn't resist authority. It bends to it. And here's the dangerous part. Once you taste that power, you can't go back. You realize all those years of waiting, all those empty prayers, were unnecessary. You were the power all along. That's why Neville told his students to stop asking. He knew asking keeps you small, but commanding forces you to rise. It's not polite, it's not gentle, it's law, and the universe doesn't argue with law. In the next minute, I'll prepare you for the words themselves. And when you hear them later, you'll understand why people fear them, and why that fear is the very key to making them work. And listen, if this already feels different, if you can sense this is bigger than just another manifestation tip, then don't wait. Subscribe right now. Because the deeper we go, the stronger your authority becomes. You don't want to miss the next piece. It's that crucial. By now, you're starting to feel it. That subtle pull in your chest when I talk about commanding. That mix of curiosity and fear. And here's why that fear matters. It's not there to stop you. It's there to confirm the truth. Because if words were just empty sounds, you wouldn't feel anything at all. But the fact that you feel this shiver in your body, even before I've revealed the command itself, means your deeper self already knows this is real. Neville Goddard used to say, "The world is yourself pushed out." And if that's true, then what you say to the world, you're saying to yourself. When you beg, you push out weakness. When you command, you push out power. And life reflects it back like a mirror. Let's pause here, and I want you to actually test this. Right now, whisper to yourself, "Please, give me money." Notice how your shoulders drop. Your energy feels small, almost embarrassed. Now shift it. Say, "Money is already mine." Did you feel that? Your body straightens, your energy rises. It feels heavier, more solid, like law. That's the difference Neville was pointing to. It's not about being arrogant, it's about being aligned. When you declare from alignment, reality doesn't resist. It has no choice but to follow. But here's the catch. Most people never test this long enough. They try once or twice, then go back to asking because it feels safer. And so they miss the doorway. You cannot half-step into command. You either claim it fully, or you shrink back into begging. And I want you to see the cost of that choice. Every time you ask, you delay. Every time you wait, you push what you want further away. And the universe, patient as it is, will simply keep reflecting your waiting until you collapse from exhaustion. That's why Neville never let his students escape with excuses. He told them, "Your word is law. Speak it as if it is, and it becomes. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now." So here's what I want you to imagine. What if you never asked again? What if, starting right now, the only words that left your mouth carried the weight of finality? No begging, no hoping, just law? How quickly would your life rearrange? How many doors would open in the next 2 days? How much money would shift toward you simply because you stopped waiting? This is what commanding does. It's not magic tricks. It's alignment so strong, the world cannot resist it. And in the next minute, I'll show you how to step into this alignment so fully that when the command is finally spoken, it won't just sound like words, it will feel like thunder. Most people stop here, they never push past the fear. But you're not most people. You're here, right now, for a reason. So if your heart's pounding and you feel this hitting you, subscribe right now. Because the next time we meet, I'll show you how to carry this command into every part of your life. Money, love, and destiny itself. We are close now. Closer than you think. But before I reveal the words that bend reality, I need you to understand one thing that changes everything. The command alone will not save you. It's not a magic spell. It's not a trick. It's power. And power only obeys authority. Think about it. If a king whispers, the world obeys. But if a beggar shouts, no one listens. It's not the sound. It's not the syllables. It's the identity behind the words. Neville Goddard hammered this into his students. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That means, before the words even leave your mouth, you must already be the version of you who has received. Not waiting, not begging, not trying, already living as if it's done. Pause with me for a moment. I want you to test this right now. Close your eyes for just 5 seconds. See the exact thing you've been asking for. Maybe it's money, maybe it's love, maybe it's freedom. Now stop watching it like a movie on a screen. Step inside of it. Wear it like clothing. Feel it like a memory that already happened. Don't just see the numbers in your account. Feel the relief of paying every bill with ease. Don't just imagine freedom. Hear the sound of your own laughter, realizing you've already been released. Don't just picture success. Taste it, like it's already done. This is alignment. This is authority. And once you are in this state, words don't come from your mouth as hopes. They come as law. But here's the trap. Most people never reach this place. They're too impatient. They rush to the words, thinking the phrase itself is the magic. So they repeat it from a place of lack, of doubt, of desperation. And then they say, "It didn't work." Of course it didn't, because they spoke it like beggars, not like kings. Imagine you tell a friend, "I already won the lottery," but deep down, your body knows you're lying. They'll feel it, instantly. And the universe works the same way. It doesn't hear your mouth. It hears your being. That's why Neville told his students, "Your word is law." He didn't mean your casual chatter. He meant the words spoken from being, from identity, from completion. That's the voice the universe obeys. So let's slow down even further. I want you to feel the weight of this. Every time you ask, you delay. Every time you wait, you push it away. The universe mirrors your waiting, endlessly patient, until you collapse in frustration. But when you command, from identity, from authority, from alignment, the universe doesn't delay. It moves. And I want you to imagine the cost of never doing this. What if you spend the next 5 years still asking? What if you stay stuck in prayers that only echo back silence? Can you feel how heavy that would be? How much time would slip away? Now, compare it to this. What if, starting today, you never ask again? What if the only words that leave your mouth from now on carry the finality of law? Not maybe, not someday, not if. Only, it is done. What happens to your finances then? What happens to your opportunities? What happens to the people who suddenly show up in your life to help because your energy has shifted into command? This is the point Neville was trying to drill into us. It's not polite. It's not gentle. It's raw authority. And once you step into it, you realize you never needed permission. You never needed to wait. You only needed to claim. That's why this next moment is so important. Because the words I'm about to reveal won't work if you treat them like magic tricks. They will only work if you speak them as the one who already has. So right now, I want you to feel into your body. Breathe slowly. And ask yourself, am I ready to stop begging? Am I ready to stop waiting? Am I ready to speak as the one who commands reality itself? Because in the very next minute, I will give you the command. And when you hear it, if you're aligned, you'll feel the chill. And once spoken, your life will never be the same again. Stay close, because we're seconds away from the moment of truth. And let me say this, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Because once you hear the words, you'll understand why this channel is different. This isn't about asking or begging or waiting. This is about commanding. And every video from here will take you deeper into that power. This is it, the moment we've been building toward. But before I hand you the words, I need you to understand just how powerful they are. Because once you speak them, you can't go back. You'll never be able to live as a beggar again. You'll never be able to hide behind waiting, or hoping, or wishing. That's why most people never discover them. They're afraid of power, afraid of responsibility, afraid of what it means to be the cause instead of the effect. Neville Goddard warned his students, "Your word is law." Most people read that as a metaphor, but if you take it literally, it changes everything. Because it means this: your voice is not sound, it is command, it is law. And law doesn't ask, law doesn't beg, law doesn't hope, law declares. So let me ask you this: are you ready to declare? Are you ready to speak words that do not drift into the air, but carve themselves into reality itself? Because in a moment, I'm going to give you the command that does exactly that. But first, picture this. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you no longer have the luxury of waiting. No more delays, no more excuses. You stand in front of the mirror, and the person looking back isn't asking, "When will it happen?" They're saying, "It has already happened." That's the identity shift. That's the bridge you've been crossing since the beginning of this video. And now, here's the command. Nothing resists my voice. Whisper it. Say it under your breath. Nothing resists my voice. Now let it rise. Nothing resists my voice. And finally, thunder it from your chest. Nothing resists my voice. Do you feel it? That vibration in your body? That's authority. That's law. That's the universe recognizing the voice of its author. And here's what happens next. Money begins to move. Opportunities appear. People show up as if pulled into your orbit. Why? Because the universe has no defense against a voice spoken from being. And if you felt that shiver when you declared it, don't walk away empty-handed. Subscribe right now, because the next video is waiting to expand this even further. Don't miss it. Your authority over reality is just beginning, and every moment you delay is a moment wasted. Hit subscribe and claim it fully. Say it again, and then I want you to declare it publicly, right now in the comments below this video. Nothing resists my voice. That act of writing it stamps it into your timeline. It's no longer a thought. It's no longer just sound. It's recorded in your reality. This is how Neville's students created what others called miracles. It wasn't miracles. It was law in motion. And you right now have just crossed the line. Because once you've spoken it, once you've declared it, your life can never return to normal. Now you've spoken it. You've crossed the line. And I want you to pause for a moment and notice something. Your body feels different, doesn't it? Your chest feels heavier, but also lighter. Your breath feels deeper. Even your skin seems to vibrate with a kind of electric awareness. That's not coincidence. That's recognition. Reality is already moving. Because when you said those words, "Nothing resists my voice," the universe took note. And now the law is set in motion. This isn't a maybe. This isn't a someday. This is law. Neville Goddard said, "You rise as high as your dominant feeling." And the feeling you just stepped into is no longer smallness, no longer waiting, no longer hoping. You stepped into the feeling of authority, and authority does not wait. So let's expand this. Let's press it deeper into your being. Say it again with me right now, even if you have to whisper it. Nothing resists my voice. That's it. That's the vibration. Tomorrow morning, you wake up. Your first thought is not, "I hope today is better." Your first thought is, "Nothing resists my voice." You carry that into your day. You walk into a meeting, and suddenly, people listen when you speak. You open your banking app, and suddenly, the tension in your body melts, because you know money has no choice but to move in your direction. You answer a phone call, and suddenly the answer is yes instead of no. It feels different because it is different. The universe bends to the voice of the one who knows, and you now know. Think about this. Every great leader in history, every mystic, every person who changed the course of reality, they all carried this same awareness. They didn't ask permission. They didn't hope for approval. They commanded, and reality obeyed. Neville called it assumption. But what is assumption except command? When you assume, you are declaring silently, "This is already mine. This is already true." And the world rearranges itself to mirror that declaration. So don't let these words just be sound in the air. Let them stamp themselves into your identity. Say it again. Nothing resists my voice. And now, write it below in the comments. Not as a nice gesture. Not for me, but for you. Because when you put it in writing, it is carved into your timeline. It becomes part of your history, part of your vibration. And trust me, the algorithm of the universe reads it just as surely as this platform does. Now let me give you a warning. The moment you adopt this command, life will test you. Not because it's cruel, but because it's rearranging itself to match your authority. So the bill might show up in your inbox. The phone call might come with a delay. The deal might stall, and that's when most people collapse. They go back to begging. They go back to asking. They go back to waiting. But you don't wait anymore. You don't beg anymore. You don't ask anymore. You stand in the storm, and you declare again, "Nothing resists my voice." And the storm bows. This is where the separation happens. This is where you stop being like the masses who live in lack, and you step into the rare frequency of the commander. Think about your finances. Most people chase money. They ask for it. They wait for it. But when you say, "Nothing resists my voice," money is no longer something out there. It's something already bending toward you. It's a servant of your vibration. Think about your opportunities. Most people knock on doors. They hope someone answers. They wait in lobbies. They send emails that never get replies. They chase and chase. But the truth is, their energy screams lack. But when you say, "Nothing resists my voice," the doors swing open. You don't chase the opportunity. The opportunity looks for you. It's as if the door itself starts moving toward you, eager to be opened. And here's the part that will shock you. Even if a door closes, it doesn't matter. Because another bursts wide, one you didn't even see before. What seemed like rejection was actually redirection. The no wasn't a wall. It was a compass, spinning you toward the yes that was already waiting. Now, think about your relationships. Most people beg for attention, for validation, for love. They say things like, "I hope he texts back," or "I hope she notices me." Do you see the weakness in those words? Hope is asking. Hope is waiting. But when you say, "Nothing resists my voice," the energy shifts. You're no longer waiting to be chosen. You are the chooser. You are the command. And suddenly, the right people appear. They're drawn to your authority, to your certainty, to your energy. It's not neediness, it's magnetism. You'll notice people leaning in when you speak. You'll notice respect in their eyes. You'll notice opportunities to connect, flowing more naturally without forcing, without begging. Because you've declared yourself as the one who does not wait for crumbs. You sit at the table as the master. Now understand this. This command is not just about money. It's not just about relationships. It's about reality itself. It's about finally stepping into the role of creator, fully, unapologetically, fearlessly. And yes, it's scary. It should be. Because once you realize your voice carries this much weight, you can't play small anymore. You can't shrug and say, "Maybe later." You can't lean on excuses like, "I'll start when I'm ready." Every excuse disappears because deep down, you know the truth. Your word is law. Neville Goddard said it again and again. Assumption hardens into fact. What you declare, what you assume, what you live from, that is what becomes your reality. Not tomorrow, not someday, but the moment you make it law in your consciousness. And when you feel that truth in your bones, you can't hide behind someday anymore. You can't blame luck. You can't say, "Well, maybe it wasn't meant for me," because it was always meant for you. The universe wasn't withholding it. The universe was waiting for you to stop asking and start commanding. This is the pivot. This is the line between who you've been and who you are now. So here's what I want you to do right now. Don't scroll. Don't skip. Don't leave this video without doing this. Take 30 seconds and write it below in the comments. Nothing resists my voice. Not later. Now don't think about it. Do it. Because that's not just a comment. That's a contract. Between you and your future. Between you and reality itself. And you'll notice something powerful. The moment you type it, the moment you stamp it into writing, you'll feel the shift again. It won't just be sound. It won't just be a whisper in your head. It will be carved, permanent, unshakable. And then, if this message hit you, if you felt that shiver in your body when you said the words, subscribe right now. Not because I asked, Not because I begged, but because your soul knows it belongs here. Because this is only the beginning. In the next video, we're going deeper. We're going to take this command and stretch it into wealth, freedom, and authority over every area of your life. We'll go beyond commanding into full embodiment. And trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. But for now, let me leave you with this. You don't ask, you don't beg, you don't wait, you command. Say it one last time before you close this video. Nothing resists my voice. Say it with the authority of a ruler. Say it with the calmness of someone who knows. Say it with the confidence of someone who no longer needs to chase. Breathe it in. Feel it settle into your body. Carry it with you tonight. Wake up with it tomorrow. Write it. Breathe it. Live it. Because once you live from this truth, life has no choice but to bow to your command. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.